Thank you, playful and curious humans from around the globe, and for joining us for another Trust in Play meetup. My name is Maria Saridaki. I am the Artistic Director of Trust in Play, and today we are hosting this meetup with Alessandro, Giovannucci and Matteo Cuccioni, who are school organizers and summoners of mystery and play and amazing humans. Today, we will talk about and share some more information about what will happen in the school. We will talk a lot about the mystery and the theme, but mostly we will also talk about the city of Elefsina, and its own mysteries. We will try to make connections of how we can introduce play in public space in a very interesting city that has lots to offer, especially this year. For the last part, the Elefsinian part, we have together some very, very important guests. Yannis Koukmas from Elefsis 2023, Miss Evangelia Nodara and Vangelis Yannis, who are Elefsinians, and they will share with us much more input on the mysteries and the playful side of Elefsina. And we are very happy and very proud that they can join us. And of course, we will have time for your questions because this is the main reason why we're here, to make sure we're all on the same page. Before we begin, I want to tell you that we record the video. So, however, because it's Zoom, it doesn't record your name or your face unless you're speaking. So don't worry about that. And I would also like to ask you to take a moment to arrive, because I know that we're all coming from very different places in very different moments of our day. And I would like you to use the chat to introduce yourself, share with us where you come from, and also share if you know anything about the mysteries of Elefsina. So feel free to take this moment to arrive and use the chat to share with us who you are, where you come from, and if you know anything about Elefsina and its mysteries. And as you're all doing that, I would like to start a little bit sharing about this year's Trust in Play. So Trust in Play as a school, for those of you that don't know or they haven't been with us in the previous webinars, has as a goal to connect and create opportunities for artists, designers, and creatives that want to work with public space and playfulness. We use trust in the title, but not only because trust is important in general, but because this is the way we work. We work a lot with building communities of trust, permanent or non-permanent, and we play a lot with the tensions in public space, trying to reveal where trust is broken or how we can amend or play with it, using our tools and our skills. However, this year is very special because we have been invited in the city of Elefsina as part of the cultural capital of 2023. And as a team in Trust in Play, our purpose is to create, let's say, impermanent togetherness of creatives and artists, specifically in Elefsina, so that we can spread play and game design public space. However, we have a secret mission, especially this year, because we want to create a permanent locus of connection with Elefsina and, let's say, the network of playful creators around the globe. We will try to reveal in this webinar why we think this is important and what Elefsina has to offer to the people that will actually be in the summer school in July with us. Some of the things that will happen in July is that we will actually squat an actual school in Elefsina that is given to us by the municipality, and we will all live together for 9 days. We will learn from very well-known game designers and creatives. I will tell you more about some of our mentors, but more importantly, we will also share and learn from one another. So everyone that will join us there is also an expert in our eyes. There is no better or less. It's humans that are curious, want to play and want to understand and reveal or create mysteries. Of course, we will design games in teams. We also have the budget for that. And the goal is to create different games that they will be presented in Elefsina by the end of this week. And we will present it in a night of play, because it's mysteries and because we think that mysteries come alive at night. And of course, there will be, apart from all the learning and the designing and the experimenting, there will be a lot of celebrations, rituals, discussions, sharing, play, of course, some swimming, lots of eating, and embodied experiences. So what we would like to do and why we invite you to apply, FYI, we have 2 days left, is the reason because we want all to gather this July and be able to see, reveal, or recreate the unseen in Elefsina. And this specific series has so many different layers of unseen values. But before we go into that, I would like to give the dance floor to Alessandro to speak a little bit more about the unseen and about the mystery. And before doing that, I want to thank you for allowing me to say so many things at once. Take a breath for all the things that are going to happen in this webinar. And I will leave you with one of my favorite verses by a poem of Robert Frost about mystery. It says, "We dance around in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows." Alessandro, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria, for this wonderful closing, and thank you everyone for being here. So what we have in mind, of course, the structure is what Maria told you about, and we will tell you more. But what it's important to say in this moment is like the fact that we will revolve around the idea of mysteries a lot, but mysteries in all the possible meanings that this word have, because it's a very rich and layered word. So mystery, starting from, mysteron in Latin and then Greek, means only for the initiates, only for a small group of people that know something. So part of a secret group. But it's also something that is close to everyone. You cannot enter. So it's locked. It's also a secret. But also is a ceremony, is a ritual. The mysteries is like also some sort of ritual or collective act we can have. So if we combine all these things, the ceremony, the ritual, something that is locked, some that is secret, some that which is for initiate, you have a lot of things that you can connect or disconnect. So we will play a lot about boundaries and blurred lines between these things. So maybe it's not always possible to see whether we pass from a ritual to a game, and from a game to something that happened in the magic cycle. So basically we want to go inside this word, mysteries, and then explode all the possible meanings of the word to see where all the sketches can go. So all the activities we'll do will be around that. So we'll be basically a group of people that will create a code, a language, an experience or experiences or languages. So working together, but also in small groups, different small groups, parallel groups, sometimes alone, sometimes merging. We want that this creative force is going from all the direction, always around these themes, which is luckily also a bright theme, a light and a big theme, a vast. We can explore it. So we will work, and also we'll follow our passions and our ideas. So we will work around those inputs, but we will also, of course, be ready and open to receive your ideas once we will be all in the school working on that. And which language we will talk. We want to be surprised by you, of course, with your own backgrounds and expertise, but also we have some ideas. For example, it will be a low technology approach. We want to play on other stuff that are mainly based on experimental game design, interaction design, performances, role-playing, LARP, interactivity, co-creation, play in public space. We think that all these activities are part of the same family, and we can merge this kind of activity, you know, the experimental game design, the interaction, the urban games, with the themes of the mysteries. And also then, once after having working together on this team with this continuous creative brainstorming going on around in our school in different format, then we will bring that to the public space. We will share our rituals that used to be private and then will become public. Our games, our performances, it will be in public space. So we'll go from the dark to the lights, and from private to the public, and from the creators to the city. So the idea is to reflect around that, exchange things, think about what we can do in closed circle, and then propose that to a larger audience that will, of course, work with that and co-create, and this continuous feedback between us, then the town, the city, the creation, the game design, all around the idea of mysteries that can be the trigger that can open our window on this different reality for the time of our school in Greece. That will be a physical school, but also a school in a sense of sharing something together.
Thank you, Alessandro. And just to add on that, some of the people that they will help us and learn, and you know, there will be our mentors along the way is us, the people that you see here, Matteo, that you've also interacted with him in the past and the previous webinar, and he's an architect and right now he's also a professor and a game designer. Alessandro, who is the soul of Chaos League. They do Nordic LARP in the Italian way, as I usually say. Me, that I've been working with playfulness and facilitating playful art in public space, and I will also help you a lot regarding rituals and how to create and transform around them. But also with us will be Sebastian Kwak, who was the also artistic director of the project before with me, and he's an artist, a game designer and curator, and he connects play with urban society. And Tis Creel, an artist from Mexico that is based in London, and she has been working a lot with augmented reality, interactive experiences in public space, and DIY low tech. So we will go, as you can see already, and many other people, mentors that they will come, they're arranged to come, and others that I know that spontaneously will pop up just because they want to be with us, as it usually happens. So the idea is that we go from low-tech, experimental arts, live-action role-play game, actual play in the streets with just our bodies or simple memes. We will create things with our hands. We will create rituals, break them, and all these will happen in Elefsis. And the reason why this is important, I hope that we will have some light from Yannis, who is with us from Elefsina 2023. Hello, Yannis. Thank you so much for joining us and for your amazing help in building this webinar.
Hi, it's our pleasure to be with you. It's our pleasure to have you here in Elefsina, and having, first of all, fun from creativity. So thank you for the inspiration that you share with us, and for all the energy that you share with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, because I think it's time for you to tell us who you are and what is happening in Elefsina 2023. What's the fuss? Why are we coming there this year? What's happening there?
In Elefsina, we are one of the 3 European capital of cultures. Now in Elefsina, it's happening the largest cultural event, one of the largest cultural event in Europe, with 130 artworks, around 465 events, and 30 venues. And we combine 17 types of art. So you can understand what's happening in one of the smallest cities that have been European Capital of Culture, and one of the 5 sacred, ancient sacred cities of the ancient world. So there are a lot of things that they're going to be here. It's happening now, and we are very proud that we will do things together.
Thank you, Yanni. So there will be a spotlight, let's say, on what we're going to create. Okay.
Okay, so the program, the name of the program, we call it Mysteries of Transition. So we have 130 projects, as I said, that they are going to happen in Elefsina, and there are also participatory projects and projects that we hope that will be, how can I say, will be projects that will left the legacy, will be part of the legacy of the Elefsis 2023. We have a lot of significant names and artists that will participate and will be a part of our projects, like as Romeo Castellucci, Sasa Valls, Hagen, Sandy, Heiner Kebels, with the exhibition that he already done, Mrs. Katerina Gregu, the director of the National Museum of Contemporary Art, and a lot of people, Greek, not only, and of course, you.
all the people that will apply and join us and have their artworks there. That's fantastic, Yanni. Thank you.
We love it. We love it.
Yanni, you mentioned that Elefsis was one of the 5 most sacred cities regarding ancient mysteries. Would you like to elaborate on that? Why? What was happening?
Yes, it was happening. One of the most fascinating myths of antiquity that linked to the changing of the season. Now I'm 50 meters from the archaeological site, and you are going to be also here, and we are going to live the experience to be in one of the most sacred places in Greece. Why? Why? Because the god of Pluto, or Hades, as you can say, the god of the underworld, saw Persephone. So Persephone gathering flowers with her friends, and of course Hades fell in love with her. So he took her away and made her his wife. But her mother, the goddess Demeter, was devastated, and in her grief would not allow any seed to sprout. So famine spread, people began dying, and sacrifices to the gods stopped taking place. So Zeus, Dias, sent the goddess Iris to Demeter with gifts in an effort to change her mind. That initiative failed. Demeter demanded instead that Pluto give in, and he agreed to share Persephone with her mother. 6 months in the upper world, 6 months in the lower world. Each spring, she would ascend to the upper world. Legend puts her exit from the underworld near the cave seen at Elefsina archaeological site today, 50 meters from me now. So Elefsina is now living with this myth, with these stories. It's a part of the city. It's not out of the cities. Now it's here. So it's something about the upper and the underworld. And it's something that we can say that everything starts from Elefsina. because we have the cultivation of land. How the land will be cultivated, learned by Demeter, the god of the agriculture. And so we have spring, we have winter. So,
and also something very interesting about Elefsis that we will also delve a lot into, along with this so rich myth, such a rich myth, is the fact that it was the ceremonies, the rituals of Elefsina. Sacred rituals that even in our days, we don't have lots of information because they were sacred and secret. So this type of, and there was a huge procession from Athens to Elefsina. Was it each year, if I'm not, I think it was every year?
Yes, and everyone can participate, but we do not.
No one could speak, right?
But we do not know anything.
Yeah.
But that's why we say it's a mystery.
It's a mystery, and we will try exactly. And thank you so much. We will try to understand, research it, and that's why this project is in 3 circles. The first cycle now it's about researching the mystery, and part of the mystery is all of us, you come from all over the world trying to identify what we are doing, what are the transitions we are going through. And hopefully the second circle will happen in Elefsis. There will be one-day meetup with local participants to understand Elefsina a little bit better and prepare ourselves for the large event, which is the 3rd cycle in the summer school in July, that everybody is invited there from the people that will apply, and we will choose to actually play with this idea of what it means to be sacred, seen, unseen, the idea of consent, for example, which is huge. It's absent in this myth. The idea of grief and celebration and rediscovering and metamorphosis of ourselves and the land. Thank you very much. And also, Yannis, thank you so much for making sure. Yannis, would you like to share little things about you? What you're one of our huge allies in Elefsina. What are you doing there?
Sorry, I'm responsible for the community engagement, for bringing the artistic program of the Elefsis 2023, Eleusis 2023, to the inhabitants of Elefsina. So we work a lot with the groups here. And it's not something easy, but it's something full of pleasure and sometimes being stressed, but it's nice to watch people participated in projects like the one that we're going to have together.
And we're going to learn a lot from that, because trying to organize something when it's not that easy, I think it will be a huge lesson for all of us, how to facilitate, how to invite, how to include. Inclusion is a huge part of Trust in Play, always and especially this year, thanks to our producers, Liminal, who are experts in creating inclusive artistic experiences. But thanks to your work with the communities, we're not alone today. We have some people from Elefsis, and specifically Miss Evangelia Dara, that thanks to Athena, will be able to communicate and share with us. Because we heard some things about Elefsina and Elefsina of the past and the ancient world and its myths, but what about Elefsina right now? Athena, kalispera. Kalispera, κυρία Ευαγγελία.
Hello from us as well. I am Athena, and I'm part of the artistic team, and I work very close of Eleusis 2023. And I work very close with Yannis and Maria so that this project can actually happen in Elefsina. And with us, we have a very special guest today that is one of the local community, Miss Evangelia, that she was born here, raised, lived her life, worked, and she can tell us a little bit more about the city and the games, about play, about what they were playing during the older, let's say, times until now in Elefsina. So Ms. Evangelia was speaking Greek, but I will try to translate.
Αθηνά, thank you very, very much. Κυρία Ευαγγελία, καλησπέρα. Σας ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ που είστε μαζί μας. Thank you so much for being here with us. One thing I want to share is that κυρία Ευαγγελία not only cares about Elefsina, but she also has a Facebook group that connects information about Elefsina, the old and the present. I'm learning things regarding Elefsina from your group. Κυρία Ευαγγελία, χάρη σε εσάς μαθαίνω πράγματα για την Ελευσίνα, έτσι ώστε να προετοιμαστούμε για αυτό που θα συμβεί τον Ιούλιο και σας ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Εγώ χαίρομαι πάρα πολύ που σας βοηθάω και ευχαριστούμε πολύ που αγαπάτε την πόλη μας και μας βοηθάτε κι εσείς. Να τη μάθουμε σε περισσότερο κόσμο έξω. Θέλουμε για τα παιχνίδια.
Athina, would you like to translate or would you like me to do it? I just want to say that Evangelia said that she's very happy to be with us and be able to help us and help people learn more about Elefsina, that it's a small but very important city, and about play in the streets of Elefsina. So I will first do the question in Greek to allow her some time to think. Κυρία Ευαγγελία, θα ήθελα να σας ρωτήσω πώς έπαιζε ο κόσμος παλιά στους δρόμους της Ελευσίνας και πώς παίζει τώρα. Απλά δώστε μου ένα λεπτό να μεταφράσω την ερώτηση και στα αγγλικά. I asked her, what about play? What about public space and play? What was happening in the past in Elefsina? How people played and what is happening now? How is playfulness in the public space of Elefsina?
Η Ελευσίνα παλιά δεν ήταν τόσο πυκνοκατοικημένη, άρα είχαμε πολύ μεγάλες σαλάνες, είχαμε δρόμους ελεύθερους. Φτάνει να πω αυτό που συζητάγαμε και πριν, ότι επειδή είμαι λίγο άνθρωπος του περασμένου αιώνα, λογικά, είχα την τύχη να γνωρίσω τον αρχαιολογικό μας χώρο χωρίς περίφραξη, χωρίς τίποτα και φτάναμε να παίζουμε με τα χτερίσματα που υπήρχαν ακόμα που δεν είχαν μπει στη θέση τους. Δηλαδή τα κανατάκια τα παίρναμε με νερό και κερνάγαμε τις κοπέλες δίπλα και κάναμε όλο αυτό. Κουτσό παίζαμε με μαρμαράκια από τον αρχαιολογικό χώρο.
So Elefsina saying that when she was a kid and younger, Elefsina was not super crowded and not super populated. So there were a lot of open spaces where you can play, where kids could play, large and huge open spaces. And especially she's focusing on the archaeological side. Back then, she said of the previous century, but she's not that old, of course. Back then, the archaeological side didn't have a lot of boundaries. So it was an open space, actually, that anyone could enter. And especially the kids used to go there to play. And they were also using, actually, what today would be terrifying to an archaeologist, but could use the marbles and the ancient ruins to play. And they were used to pour water in small objects, or they used to use the small marbles to play something like kucho, that it's called in Greek kucho, that you jump on your feet.
It's hopscotch.
Cool, thank you, Maria. So you can imagine that the archaeological site actually used to be a huge playground for the kids back then.
But what is happening today? I suppose we're not allowed to play at the archaeological site, but what about playfulness in the other space of Elefsina? What about if we can, do you see kids or older people playing with their bodies or using balls or, I don't know, Pokemon Go in the streets or in the parks? What is the situation?
Υπάρχει και τώρα η Ελευσίνα, είναι το καλό ότι υπάρχει και τώρα ανοιχτή χώρη να μπορούν να παίξουν τα παιδιά, όχι όμως τόσο όσο είναι. Να πούμε όμως ότι δεν μην πάνε με την εποχή αυτή που είπα για το αρχαιολογικό χώρο και τώρα, υπήρχε και μία μεταβατική περίοδος, οι οποίοι ήταν οι αλάνες οι απλές, ήταν τα μέρη που μπορούσαμε να παίξουν μπάλα τα αγόρια, εμείς να παίξουμε τα παιχνίδια όλα, περνά η μέλισσα και διάφορα παιχνίδια να πούμε όλα αυτά. Τώρα εντάξει είναι λίγο πιο κλειστά, λογικά έχει κατοικηθεί η Ελευσίνα περισσότερο, αλλά υπάρχουν και μέρη που μπορούμε να παίξουν τα παιδιά.
So even today there are some spaces open that kids can play. Of course, now it's more crowded. Houses have been built around, but it's a city that there is still a lot of open public space and large spaces where kids can go and play. Of course, yeah, there are some boundaries like, I mean, of course, today you cannot go to the archaeological site or some other sites. And there was a transitional period from the years he was describing until today. But there are still a lot of places around open spaces that they can play. And she has also made a list of games if you want to hear some. And of course, she can join you in May and July of the games that she used to play. And some of them are still being played. Θέλετε να μας πείτε κάποια από τα παιχνίδια από τη λίστα? She has a list as well.
I have a list. So who's going to say that?
Where is, okay, I have that also.
They
were playing Where is the Ring, if I say it correctly. But they were actually trying to find to whom, I mean, they were hiding this ring or whatever object, and they were trying to find to which kid belonged the ring. There is, I don't know, Maria, if you want to translate how the bees are passing by. It's
a physical game. It's a physical game allowing players to move around in circles while being touched. So it's a game about touch.
Yeah.
In a way.
But if we have time, we can also say that we have members of Kaltera, the youngsters of Elefsina, Fiorida and Yannis Papapetrou, that can share with us their experience of playing in Elefsina nowadays.
Of course, I would like first of all.
Yannis.
Of course, first of all, I would like to thank Miss Vangelia once more. Κυρία Βαγγελία, είναι η αρχή. Σας περιμένουμε σε λίγες εβδομάδες, θα τα πούμε και θα σχεδιάσουμε και θα παίξουμε πολύ.
Είστε μαζί.
Thank you so much. One thing I wanted to mention is that Miss Vangelia mentioned a lot playing, kids, children play. What we're going to do, we will try to open it much more to people of all ages and abilities. And this is also something very important because in the larger cities, at least the ones that I've experienced designing such events, it's easier to include older people because, you know, no one knows one another, there's no shame. So this is another thing that we need to think a lot when we will design our games and our experiences, how we can, create a space that older people are allowed to participate. And for that, I think it's amazing, Yanni, that we have your collaborators from Elefsina to share a little bit about that. Hello, guys. I'm sorry I cannot see you. Can you open your camera so you pop up in Zoom? I think Fiorida and, sorry. Yannis. Hello. Hi there. Thank you for joining us. So do people play in Elefsis right now? What is happening with the public space? Do people, interact playfully with one another in the urban space of Elefsina?
So I'm starting. And when we were younger, like maybe 10 years ago, you can see many more kids playing outside football and games with balls. or Seek and Hide, or Pucho. Πώς είναι το Pucho, Γιάννη?
Hopscotch.
Yes, but now it's a bit difficult. You can see them with bikes around the city, especially in squares, town squares, but not so much.
What about older people, not just kids, teenagers and above? Will they use the public space to play soccer, for example, or to play a tabletop game like chess in public space? Is something that it's common in Elefsis?
Γιάννη, μπορείς...
Hello. Well, older people mainly gather at cafes and play backgammon at their free time. Well, young adults play basketball, as far as I know, in open courts that we have in Elefsis. That's mainly the people that play games in public spaces, in a way.
You. But in a way, what I hear from that is that also, as Athina and Miss Evangelia said earlier, that there are spaces that we can, let's say, squat and create our own games there. I hear that there are opportunities, and hopefully knowing that we have you with us, I know that we will also have the audience to create these experiences for everybody. Thank you, Fiorida and Yannis, very much for sharing. I would also like to invite Yannis if he would like to share, Yannis Koukmas, if he would like to share anything else before we return back to Trust in Play and what will happen in July. Yanni, is it anything else you would like to share regarding Elefsis or what will happen?
I'm sorry, but my PC was, my laptop was closed. Is closed. No, I know that here in Elefsina we have a lot of people that can share with us memories, experiences, and dreams. So together with you, with the inspiration that you will bring to us, with the creativity, I think that we will have the most joyful time here in Elefsis 2023 as the European Capital of Culture. So we're expecting you. That's all.
Thank you.
And as Maria said, bear in mind that we all need, not only the kids.
Not only the kids, of course,
the adults and the older people, and we for sure need a lot of play right now in our lives. So we are all expecting you to make life more joyful and to spread all over Elefsina. Like all the open spaces are yours to conquer, let's say. So yeah, we're expecting you here in the 27th of May and later on.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving us all this insight. And just to, for the ones that they don't know, Elefsina is very close to, is a city, is a port. And so there will be some time at the beach as well during July, for sure. But last but not least, I would like to make sure that if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat and we'll try to answer. I saw one question earlier, that it was about whether what will happen with Trust in Play will be connected with the other artwork. Our answer is definitely yes. Trust in Play, and especially this year, we want to work a lot with reusing and revisiting what is happening in the surroundings. So we will make sure that all the legacy from the other projects that have happened in Elefsina or are happening there can be a part of our work as well in Elefsina. And we're also we're discussing with other projects, artistic projects, already to see how we can create connective, and how we can connect and create this type of let's say connections between the different projects while we are there. And also we have already spoken to some artists that they are presenting their their work in Elefsina, and they're more than happy to come and mentor us. So I wanted to ask if there is any other question that I haven't answered. Alessandro?
There is one about whether some items from the summer school will be live streamed, and we don't know yet. I think also Matteo is answering, and when we will publish if we are planning to publish the detailed reports about the training week or daily blogs or any kind of updates during the school happen this summer.
Thank you. Regarding if some of the things, we will try to keep the school as, let's say, as present as possible. So, however, I know that it's very difficult for many people to travel to Elefsis. We will try to meet needs, but to be honest, the focus will be on what will happen in Elefsis during the summer school. Of course, we will try to record some things and share them later with the community, because right now we are all part of the community of Trust in Play. We have a forum as well that feel free to enroll, as we always say. And we, even during the school 3 years ago, would always share what was happening, not only for the others that they couldn't for some reason be with us, but also for us to make sure we document what is happening and will not lose it. And another thing that I want to share in that is that the games that they will be designed for Elefsina will also stay there. We will try to make sure that there will be spaces, that they will have the games there after we leave, and that the rules and how-tos and props will also stay, so that the games can be replayed as much as possible again and again and again. Another question that many times pops up is that, okay, we were there, it was fantastic, we connected, we learned, we designed, we created these games. Can we continue working on these games afterwards? The answer is always yes. Of course, you can continue working on the games, and of course, we'll always try to support you on that. There will also be a budget for each team, but even after the training week, we will make sure to support you in any way we can, so that your games will go and will travel to festivals all over the globe. This is what happened in previous Trust in Play, and this is what will happen now.
And also, if I may add something, here Yannis talking is, only based on very small pieces of the history he told us was so inspirational. I was thinking about a game about the upper world and the lower world, and the change of season, and being seen or not seen by people you like it. I mean, the fact that this will happen in Elefsis will be like the right place to develop this kind of game and mentality. Or just a personal comment.
Thank you very much, Alessandro. And if there are, so what I want to say is a huge thank you to all of you for being here. And thank you for making these webinars more and more interesting with your questions and your present. I would like to thank all the Elefsis 2023 people from joining us and making sure we have an idea of what we will meet this summer in Elefsis and how we can be introduced to the mysteries. There will be lots of storytelling and mythology, as you can understand, when we get there, but also lots of personal and private mythologies. This is a moment of transition for all, and it will be beautiful to do it together. Yes, there was a question about how many participants. We are looking around 20 to 25 participants for the school. And because we don't have, I will say it again, we said it in the previous webinar, but I want to share it again. Participation in the school is free. We will also cover 2 meals during the day, and the accommodation is free at the school. Of course, if someone wants to stay somewhere else, they're free to do it. However, regarding your travel and how to get to Elefsis, it's up to you. We have a very small budget to support some people in a first come, first served basis. So make sure you apply on time. And so if there is a question about when you're going to be notified, if you are selected, we are closing. The open call is supposed to close in 2 days. We will probably give an extension because we were asked, but it's going to be a small extension. And it has to do with how fast we can work on reading all the amazing applications that we get. But it will be as soon as possible so that you can make travel arrangements. We understand that.
Yannis is showing the archaeological place.
Thank you.
So
Thank
now
you.
you know where you are going to be, where the mysteries happen. So we're expecting you.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you so much. And Alex shares that the sacred ritual suggests we should walk from Athens. Alex, I'm an infamous walker, so yeah, I'm with you on that. Let's walk from Athens, or vice versa. I want to thank everybody for joining. Alessandro, if you have anything to say, or Matteo, please feel free. But for me, I want to say a huge thank you, and I'm waiting to check your applications.
I have just a suggestion. I know this project from the inside because Maria and Matteo, they were so nice to involve me, and so so I can speak to you from the inside. And if you are in doubt, while in doubt, sign in, because I know the people that are involved and some of the future men we are contacting, and it will be very, very interesting week. And also, yes, Alex Brown, we talk about doing this. So just to give you an idea how crazy we are and how we want to explore and not be limited. So I think it will be a magic place this summer in Greece. So I'm looking forward to be there and to see you all there.
Great. Thank you, Matteo, so much for facilitating the Zoom and giving all these links to everybody. Thank you once more, and we will see you soon, one way or another. Ciao.